Success in English literature examinations requires a specific approach to multiple choice questions, connecting key words to specific literary eras. This method allows you to identify the intended answer by filtering out distractors based on historical and thematic associations. We can demonstrate this using question 50. It asks for the location of the 17th century Jacobean era. The correct answer is England. This is fixed by a linguistic link. The Latin Jacobus corresponds to James, identifying the reign of King James I. This same logic applies to question 45. To identify Nicholas Udall's Ralph Roister Doister as the first English comedy modeled on the Roman playwright Plautus, use the keyword pairing. Roister equals Roman comedy. Linking a character name or title directly to its historical root simplifies the decision process, letting you bypass distractors that don't match the specific era or tradition.
More difficult questions often use distractors that are contextually plausible but thematic incorrect. Question 42, regarding Oscar Wilde's The Picture of Dorian Gray, illustrates this. The question asks why Dorian breaks down upon seeing his portrait. Option A suggests he is overwhelmed by beauty, a common focus in the novel, but the actual narrative pivot is his realization of mortality. The correct answer is C. He is saddened that he will age while the portrait remains young. You can lock this in with a simple inverse relationship. Portrait young means Dorian old. Historical context can also be a point of confusion. Question 44 asks which Bertolt Brecht play was written against the backdrop of Hitler's rise. While Mother Courage and Her Children is set during the 30 Years' War, Brecht wrote the play as a specific warning against the rise of fascism in Europe during the 1930s. Similarly, in question 41, Ben Jonson's Bartholomew Fair is identified as a satire of Puritanism through the character Zeal of the Land Busy. The shorthand here is busy equals Puritan busybody. Navigating these questions requires separating the literal plot of a work from the author's underlying objective. Questions 49 and 43 test your ability to attribute quotes and settings to the correct characters and plays. By assigning a symbolic role to each character, the quotes become easier to categorize. In King Lear, Cordelia represents compassion, which identifies her as the speaker of the emotional reunion lines. In Congreve's The Way of the World, Mirabel represents modern marriage ideas, advocating for equality and freedom within a relationship. This pairing strategy also works for geographical settings. In question 48, J.M. Synge's The Playboy of the Western World is set within a rural village, in County Mayo, reflecting the specific textures of Irish peasant life. This contrasts with the postmodern structure of Italo Calvino in question 46. In The Castle of Crossed Destinies, he uses tarot cards as the primary narrative device to reinterpret literary classics. Whether the question focuses on a quote or a narrative structure, the solution relies on a definitive keyword pair. Playboy equals Mayo, and castle equals cards. Chronology questions frequently present the highest degree of friction. Look at question 47, which asks you to organize Larkin, Golding, and Lewis by birth year. Take 5 seconds to test your current knowledge. Instead of recalling specific 4-digit years, try to organize these authors by their generational placement, moving from the oldest literary period to the most contemporary. The chronological sequence begins with C.S. Lewis in 1898, William Golding in 1911, and Philip Larkin in 1922. A timeline establishes their relative historical positions. Chronology questions assess a student's grasp of relative literary movements, which provides a more reliable framework than memorizing a calendar. We can now review the set of 10 questions to confirm the results of these strategies. This summary table lists the verified responses for the current question set, from 41 through 50. To assist long-term retention, this guide maps the authors discussed to their specific works and memory tricks. Take a screenshot of this list for future study. For every practice question you encounter, identify one concrete memory trick and explain why distractors are incorrect. Report your score out of 10 in the comments, and list any English literature topics you would like to see analyzed in the next video.